Would the party have had a better chance of winning in 2024 had President Biden dropped out sooner?
The Democrats basically have for every issue, whether it's the border, whether it's the economy, whether it's foreign policy, whether it's Biden's cognitive abilities, whether it's genitals matching gender, they have the opposite take on virtually everything, and particularly when it depends if their person is in power or not. Here's Amy Klobuchar this week as opposed to how she felt just a year ago.
Would the party have had a better chance of winning in 2024 had President Biden dropped out sooner?
You know, everything we look at in a rearview mirror after you lose an election, yes, we would have been served better by a primary. But we are where we are. We're not on the History Channel right now.
You know, concerns have been growing for quite some time within your party about President Biden's ability to win a second term. The latest person to express this, Ezra Klein of the New York Times, who said this week, quote, "He is not up for this." Senator, what is your reaction to that stark assessment?
My reaction is, as someone who ran against Joe Biden, as someone who has spent significant amount of time with Joe Biden, that he is up for this job. And I was with the president for over an hour and talked about so many things, domestic, international. He was focused. His recall was good.
Do you think it's time to pass the torch?
Again, I'm a believer in President Biden.
So you might say, Dave, why are you showing these old clips? Like, what's the point at this moment? Well, not only, there's several points. One of them would be they're dredging him back to lie about the things they've lied about. The other point is these people, if we don't call them out, look, I wasn't going to vote for a Democrat if they had had a primary, but why is it that me, someone who isn't going to vote for a Democrat, I was all for the Democrats having a primary? I'm for the democratic process. You might remember around 2015 when a guy named Donald Trump was running the first time and everybody in the Republican Party basically didn't want him to run and did everything to stop him from running. And as he started winning state after state after state, the Republicans didn't rig the system. They didn't rig their primary process against him. You know what the Democrats did? Well, when Bernie had momentum against Hillary Clinton, they basically took him out, and he's acted as a little bitch to the party since then when he's not flying private. And this time around, when Bobby Kennedy was running as a Democrat, even though I told him he wouldn't be a Democrat by the end of the thing, they made sure that whatever states he campaigned in, the votes wouldn't go towards the primary. So they said to their own base in the primaries, yeah, he's old and confused and blah, blah, blah. We see all that stuff, but we're just going to ignore you altogether. And then it took until I think it was June 27th with that unbelievably horrific debate that he had. Suddenly the airlock broke that night. You all remember watching that thing, and it was finally prime time. Boy, no one can deny it. Then everyone who was denying it the entire time pretends they didn't deny it. They eventually push him out, and people like Klobuchar just continue going on. So that's why the video, the first part of that video from this week, well, no, maybe we should have had a primary. Maybe you should have said you should have had a primary, I don't know, a year ago. Alas, you're Democrats, and frankly, I don't care very much.